I am an American. That's the way most of us put it, just matter-of-factly. They are plain words, those four. You could write them on your thumbnail. Or you could sweep them clear across this majestic November sky. But remember, too, that they are more than just words. They are a way of life. So whenever you see them, speak them boldly, speak them proudly, speak them gratefully. I am an American.
There's something about hearing Let It Snow when it's 82 degrees with 98% humidity. Am I wrong? Welcome everybody, welcome to Main Street Fire Rescue. This vlog is officially in service. It's Matt, or Matty, whatever you want to call me, at Hollywood Studios. Happy Veterans Day weekend. It is actually Sunday the 12th. You know, Veterans Day was yesterday. I had to work. Got done very late last night, but I wanted to make sure I got that in today because let's face it, things would be a lot different right now if it wasn't for our veterans. Both my grandparents served in World War II. Both were drafted. I can't imagine what that would be like, especially hearing their stories. You know, they like my grandfather on my mom's side, basically they were married 2 weeks and he got the greetings letter in the mail from the government. You know, your number's been selected. I can't imagine like the emotion that would go through your mind knowing that you have one of two choices. Either you go serve your country and whatever's going to happen happens, or you could do what some did and basically run out of the country in fear. But then you can never come back and then you're a draft dodger. So, you know, very tough situations. But for those that were drafted, for those that have signed up for the U.S. Armed Forces, thank you all very much for your service. From somebody that was never in the military, however served many years in the fire service and still continue to serve in various capacities, thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This weekend's for you. So I am at Hollywood Studios today. Oh, also I wanted to add in the intro that I put in. That is from the Purdue All-American Marching Band. That's how they start every home football game. It's been a tradition as long as I've been alive. I love it. I figured what better perfect intro to put. This is getting demonetized, la 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 la. So what did I come out here for? I'm not here for anything special. We're not doing park tours, nothing like that. I came out because I figure we need to get some information out to the people, everybody that's on vacation, whether you're coming here or you're going anywhere else in the world for vacation. What do you do when you or somebody in your group, family, loved one, friend, whatever, starts to become sick? What do you do? It's a very good question. And as I sat and was combing through all the vlogs and all the Christmas stuff coming up, I'm like, you know what? Like Matt, the light bulb went on. I have a set of skills that nobody else, at least in the Disney vlogging community that I know of, has, which is how to take care of people in a time of need. So let's put that skill to good use and let's get some information out to the masses, to the people that are going on vacation, and I'm going to help you to kind of navigate the difficulties that it can be when you come down, you spend all this money to get here and then somebody or yourself gets sick. There are preventatives, there are things you can do to help. I'm going to try my best to help you out. Once we get inside, we'll probably, you know, also check out some Christmas decorations while we're at it. You know, I'm just gonna, that's not the main focal point of this, but a lot has changed just in the last couple of days because now Christmas has officially begun at the Walt Disney World Resort. So we're gonna just kind of cover everything. So I'll see you all very shortly. Also, let's talk about Jollywood Nights, shall we? While we're walking down this Sunset Boulevard. I watched it last night, and yeah, it looked like fun. I don't think it's worth the money for what they're asking. We're somewhere between, I think it's 159 and 179 per person for the party. What they did was that the entertainment looked great. However, the entertainment is things that used to be free here. What they did was they took all the entertainment, they paywalled it behind a Christmas party. That's just how I feel. That's what they did. We don't have Streetmosphere, we don't have any of that, but they took all of the live entertainment, which Hollywood Studios was notoriously known for, got rid of it after the 2020 ridiculousness and thought, oh, well, entertainment doesn't make a difference. And then they paywalled it for a Christmas party. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go to this thing. I'm struggling to justify the 100 and... I mean, realistically, the average price, you're talking about 160 some, 170 plus tax. Not sure I can justify that. It just seems like a waste of money. A lot of people are like, oh, I would love to live in Central Florida. It's a great place to live, but I promise you, you come down here and live here for a little over a year, you will find yourself like getting pissed at people when it gets crowded. You find yourself going, well, these sons of bitches just take a break and go somewhere else so I can just have a freaking weekend where I can go do something about fighting crowds. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. When you're on vacation, you don't really notice it that much. But when you live here, your brain shifts. The chemistry shifts around. Things start to go sideways. And you start getting pissed when it gets very crowded like this because you're like, I just want a normal time to go to the parks and enjoy it without walking on top of heads to get somewhere. I'm telling you, it happens. Anybody else live here, go through that same thing? Let me know. Now, let's get this vlog started into the whole reason why I came out here to begin with. Let's talk about how to navigate your vacations if when you don't feel good or somebody in your party doesn't feel good. What do you do? How do you manage things? What's the best course of action? I will tell you this. My best advice to start with, and we're gonna move around the park. I'm gonna do this kind of all over the place. But my best course of action is if you or anybody in your party is not feeling well, long before your vacation, or a couple days even before your vacation starts, change your trip. And I know that's easier said than done, but tip number one, if you're going to be sick at home, you will be sick on vacation. And I see it over and over and over again where I work at. Oh, so-and-so was feeling better a day or two before leaving, and now they feel like shit again now that we're here. Yes, because your immune system is not fully healed. Especially when you have a viral illness, flu, SARS coronavirus, anything. I mean, there's thousands of viruses that we can catch. If you are sick, or your kid is sick, or somebody is sick, and even though they feel better, it takes the body at least a week to rid itself of all viral activity. What will happen is you'll have viral suppression, which means the body's immune system starts getting ahead of things. It starts to recover. It starts beating the virus. But then, because we can't settle down for anything, we go right back into a gigantic busy area like this where there's hundreds of thousands of people, and the immune system just goes, fuck, damn it, I almost had this thing. And then you get a little bit more viral activity from other people, and it winds the system back up because people aren't sleeping as good as they do when they're at home versus when they're here. They don't take as good a care of themselves. Like it's just a fact of life. And so the immune system gets beat down again, and then they get sick again. I cannot tell you how many times we've seen people in the ED. They're like, well, little Johnny was fine 2 days ago before we left. Now he was sick for 5 days before that, but we came down because he was feeling better. Now he's sick again. Yes, that's how it works. We are human beings on this planet full of viral activity. It's just how it goes. So you have to be very careful about that. And for all of you adults out there, if you have medical conditions that you are being treated for, or you are experiencing problems, abdominal pains, anything unknown to you, and you've been ignoring it, and then, oh, vacation's coming. I tell you what, I'm gonna ignore that for a little bit longer, and then once I promise, once I get back from vacation, I'll fix it. Guess when it manifests itself? While you're on vacation, at the most inconvenient time possible. I cannot tell you all how many times I see this stuff. I see it over and over again. When you get the patient's history, they're like, oh yeah, well, I've been having this abdominal pain for 2 weeks, and well, did you see a doctor back home? Well, no, I just figured it'd go away by itself. So there's a whole slew of methods to why things get worse on vacation. One, like I mentioned before, people don't take good care of themselves while they're here. And also airline flights. Research flight physics on the body and let me know what you come up with. It is one of the worst things we can do when we're not feeling good or we're trying to recover from something, because once you cross 10,000 feet, they will pressurize the cabins to about 82 to 8,800 feet, which is the equivalent of being in Vail, Colorado. But the plane is still traveling at 30,000+ feet. There's a lot of inflammatory processes going in the body at that point. And if you're already sick, already not feeling good, already got something going on, well, guess what's going to happen? It's going to expand way up there. And then once you come back down to land, everything's going to shrink back down. And your body's going to be in a WTF moment, and it's going to be pissed at you. And it's going to usually cry out for help at the worst time possible, which is during your vacation. And then guess what? Now you're stuck in the emergency room, which then can most of the time lead to a hospital admission, which can lead to other problems. Meaning you've ignored the problem for so long, now you have to have surgery, emergency surgery, while you're on vacation. As I said in one of my other vlogs, I wouldn't talk about this stuff if I didn't see it with my own eyes. And I see it so much. Please, everybody, for your sake of your own sanity plus your families, get your shit taken care of before coming down on vacation. I understand the excitement of vacation. I know when I travel places, I get very excited before I leave. Even here, when I'm living down the road from Disney, I get excited every day to come out here. But there's limits. If I'm not feeling good, I'm not going to ignore said problem and just be like, oh yeah, it'll fix itself. A problem you ignore today will, and don't make time for, will force you to make time for it at the most inconvenient time later on in life. That's always how it goes. And the ones I feel bad for people because they're already spending tens of thousands of dollars to be here, and then you add on a $5,000+ emergency room bill on top of a hospital admission and everything else. And you even want to take it a step further, people that aren't from the US that bring that travel insurance, if you've been ignoring a medical problem and you have to get that taken care of, and you weren't either honest or you kind of falsified or lied a little bit on your travel insurance form, they're not going to cover that, and then you will be stuck with the bill yourself, which sometimes is cheaper that way. But you will be stuck with that bill yourself, and if you don't make any type of arrangements to pay within a short period of time, that bill can go to collections, which if you don't live in the US, any bill goes to collections, your passport is then put on hold. And let's say you go to the emergency room, let's say you've been ignoring a problem and you're here from the UK, and you all come here for the long haul. So I again speak from experience of things I've seen. You all come for the long haul. You don't stay 4 or 5 days, you're staying weeks to months. So let's say a family comes over from the UK, somebody's been ignoring a problem. They come into the ER because said problem's gotten really bad. They have to get admitted, they have to have emergency surgery, they have a hospital admission, they have a hospital stay. They have racked up tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds, real quick. If your insurance only pays for a little bit or doesn't pay for the whole thing, and you have a responsibility to pay and you just decide, screw it, I'm not paying that, and that goes to collections, your passport is now on hold with the United States. Meaning, if you go to the ED and you have your issue taken care of within the first week of being here, and you get into a pissing match with insurance because they don't want to pay anything, and then you decide, well, screw it, I'll just not pay that, and that bill lands in collections, well then in a month or so, when you go to leave the US to go back to the UK, you're not going to be able to leave the US because your passport's going to be on hold until you figure that bill out. I've seen people come into our emergency room like fuming mad, screaming at the receptionist saying they can't leave the country because their passport's on hold because of a debt, which at that point we can't take care of that. That has to go to billing, which then have to get in contact with collections. You have to pay the full sum or a negotiated sum, and then they release your passport, which can take, as you know how things work in the US, and they go to by quote-unquote business days, that can take a long time. Literally witnessed a family get stuck here for 3.5 extra weeks because of that. And just while they were getting everything ironed out, and they basically were spending money they didn't have to live out of hotels. It was an absolute mess. But again, I talk about this stuff because I see it. I see it happen in front of me, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be this way. So that's going to be step one. Don't ignore problems. Take care of your shit before you go on vacation. And if you have to change the vacation, change it. They will work with you. Things aren't like they used to be, where they're such hard asses like they were before 2020. Things are a lot different now. And you will, even if it costs you a little bit of money to change your plans around, you will have such an easier time. And even if it costs you a little bit of money, I promise you, it won't be as much as it costs you when you're facing an ER bill, hospital admission bill, and God knows what else you accrue while you're that, because you've ignored a problem that you could have taken care of a long time ago for a relatively small cost. All right, let's move on. I missed the time before. Let's check out rock and/or roller coaster real quick. I haven't ridden this in forever. Now, the one thing I will say about the Jollywood Nights, the wait times for the rides was really low. Like, everything was like 5 and 10 minutes. From the standpoint of being able to ride some of these rides like this and Slanky Dog Dash, that would be great, but it's just the money is astronomical. Yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster is only 35 minutes right now. Not too shabby. Basically right here by the, God, it feels like August out here. Right here by the Sunset Ranch Market, they put up this giant like LED board right here, which interacted with the Tower of Terror, and that's gone this year. Another step while we're walking, y'all, especially those of you that aren't from Orlando or not from Florida, if you're coming from the north, which most people are here, you have to drink a shit ton of water. And I mean, not just a ton, I'm talking a shit ton. How much is a shit ton, might you ask, Matt? Well, I will tell you, a shit ton is approximately 1 ounce of water per pound of body weight. I am 6'1", weigh about 200. Need to get that down a little bit. Currently working on that. But regardless, 6'1", 200. I need to drink exactly 200 ounces of water every single day to maintain good health, good homeostasis. You need to do the exact same thing. Especially if you are on medications, which the majority of the population is, unfortunately. Medications do all kinds of things to your system, which are not very kind to it, especially blood pressure meds. Blood pressure meds tear your body apart. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you're on any type of blood pressure medication, you need to be drinking water basically nonstop, because this type of environment will land your ass in the hospital with dehydration. And also, while you're here, especially during the days when it's really hot like this, stay away from the freaking donuts, stay away from all the sugar, stay away from all the crap. Your body will thank you. Disney does that stuff for a reason. They know people are gonna be like, well, I didn't eat breakfast. I need this gigantic Joffrey's donut in the morning that's, you know, tons and tons of sugar, and I'm not gonna drink hardly enough water. So I'll keep eating and drinking as the day goes on, because heavy sugar doesn't make me feel satiated long. And it just is a process of over and over and over again, until either A, you wind up passing out because of bad nutrition, or you get freaking dehydrated and then you get weak and dizzy, and then you have to come to the ER. I had to stop and take a look at the tree in Echo Lake. The water level is starting to come back up. You can see where it's a lot higher than it was the other night, and they got the bridge out of there. If we zoom in on this, you can get an idea of the size of this tree. Just look at some of the decorations that are on there. Those Santa faces are the ones that those are the ones that people put on their homes. Oh, hold on. You know what it's time for? It's time for a live stream moment. Having a live stream moment. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's very comical. Some of the live streamers, when they set their camera down, and it faces a brick wall or a bush or something, or the floor, and it stays like that for 5-10 minutes. Well, I'm glad to see this is back open again. My favorite are the rats that are fishing for the coins with the magnets. And this guy down here has got a dollar bill and he's got a trident with a dollar bill through it. Miss Piggy at one point used to spin around. So this is the old Streets of America. Well, what's left of Streets of America back here.
Yeah, there are
And I got excited because, like some of these vlogs do, they said that It's a Wonderful Christmas shop reopened. I thought, oh great, it's reopened as a Santa meet and greet. Damn it. I think that's great, but if anybody remembers what this shop was like before they turned it into a meet and greet, this is a really cool shop. But yeah, this is all that's left of the original Streets of America, and this used to be the start of where the Osborne family Christmas lights were, which they think was a bad idea to get rid of all that. But yes, right through here, you would enter in to Streets of America. And it took you all around. You can see what's some still left back there. All right, so let's talk part 2 on this, shall we? If you are vacationing from up north, anything further than the Mason-Dixon line, and you are not used to this hot, humid weather, and it is cool where you come from, upper northeast, the northwest, the midwest, Canada, even farther north than that, and you decide that we have to get out of this cold and come to Orlando on vacation, there is a high likelihood that one or all of your party will get sick at some point in time being here. When I say sick, I don't mean like really sick, can't do anything, but coughs, fevers, runny noses. People that have asthma, it really gets irritated, not only from the plane ride, but when you get here into this weather, people start coughing the hack. You know, the worst thing I think people do is they try to stop the cough, which they start taking cough suppressants. People, the reason we cough is so our body can get junk out. And people keep coming into the ER all the time like, I'm coughing up green stuff. I said, that's good. They're, what do you mean that's good? I said, that's the infection coming out of your lungs. That is your body purifying itself of your illness. Like, I just feel like we've gone so backwards in the way we do things. For example, if you wind up down here on vacation and you yourself or your kids, if somebody starts getting a fever, for one, woosah. So many people freak the hell out over a fever. I had a very good doctor tell me once when I was going through my medical training and my precepting and all that. He said, Matt, you're going to see a lot of things in the ER. And as a paramedic, he goes, you're going to see a lot of everything. He goes, but let's just hit on one thing for a minute. He goes, let's talk about fevers. He goes, everybody freaks out about the fever. He's like, they all get so wrapped up in the numbers. Oh, their fever was 103, 104. He's like, it isn't that big a deal. He goes, the number means absolutely nothing. He said, the only time you really want to start getting something where you want to fix a fever or get medical help is if you're 106, 107. That's getting into the danger zone. And things that would create that would be malignant hyperthermia, which is right after surgery, or if somebody is becoming septic. But there's other things that go along with that high fever. Loss of memory, loss of coordination, not being able to speak right. Like, those are things that clearly need an emergency department. But a child who is very healthy otherwise and has a fever of 101, 103, woosah. Easy, calm down. I cannot tell you how many parents come freaking out into the ER and my baby's burning up. Yes, they are. They're sick. Well, do something. What? I mean, I don't say that to be egotistical or anything, but people, for one, have to calm down a little bit. We get sick as human beings. That is part of our existence on this planet. What happened throughout the course of 2020 warped people's brains. Like, we've gone from the idea that I think people just took it that we get sick. That's what we do. But 2020 happened, and now we're not supposed to get sick for any reason, anyhow, any way. And if you have somehow gotten sick, it's because you did something wrong. You were bad, you know. And I hear it all the time. Well, I did everything. I got 18 boosters. I wear a mask everywhere. I wear 5 masks. I do this. I sanitize. Guess what? It ain't gonna matter, because no matter what you do, how you do it, or even if you stand on your head and walk on your hands and breathe upside down, or try to do anything else that might sound asinine, you're still going to get sick. It's part of what we are. It's who we are. It's our biome. It's our makeup. And the sanitizer shit, people, knock it off with that stuff. Please stop bathing your children in that. You're crushing their microbiome. You're killing their good bacteria. That stuff, it gets rid of bacteria, but it's very, very misleading, because it kills your good bacteria as well. And your good bacteria, your flora on your hands, is what protects you from other, bacteria and illness. We are actually, between antibiotics, which are being prescribed without even confirming a bacterial infection, and hand sanitizers, people, you wonder why we have strains of bacteria that cannot be stopped. It's because of that. We are the victims of our own problems. We really are. We create these problems, and then we don't understand how we got here. And part of the thing is understanding we get sick as human beings. But what we do throughout our lives and how good we take care of ourselves determines kind of how ill we're going to be. Now, are there the odd cases where a perfectly healthy person gets extremely ill to the point where they're hospitalized? It happens. It does. Can you do anything about it? Probably not. There's things in this world that will never ever be able to be explained, and no amount of vaccinations, no amount of anything is going to protect you from ever getting sick. And I think that's where I get very, very frustrated with people, especially the ones with kids, because they come in, they go, oh well he or she's had a fever, and I've been giving them Tylenol like every 2 minutes. I'm exaggerating, but I've been giving them a Tylenol every 2 minutes. Their fever goes down, then it comes back up. I said, yes. Now let me explain to you why that happens. I said, our hypothalamus, our temperature regulator, controls the temperature in our body. When there is a foreign invader, virus, or even bacteria, the body doesn't like that. Things that aren't accustomed to our body do not like temperatures above 98.6 degrees. So our body says, I've got somebody inside that I don't like, and I need to get this son of a bitch out of here. So guess what? We're going to raise the temperature. Raise the temperature, virus, whatever's going on gets very uncomfortable. Like, I got to get the hell out of here. This bullshit environment ain't for me. And so all your T cells, all your natural killer cells, all of your antibodies, or not the antibodies, but the white cells, all of that stuff comes marching in, and it kicks the virus's ass. And once it overpowers the virus, then the fever breaks. And then you wake up sweaty as sweaty can be, like you've just run a marathon. And then you start feeling better within 48 hours. There is no magic pill for that. And when we keep giving kids and ourselves Tylenol and ibuprofen to keep the fever down, we are actually lengthening our illness. Now, I would love to have this debate with somebody, but nobody wants to do it with me. But I really believe that in time we're going to see the different things are going to change in how we take care of illness, because we're going after the wrong thing. We're going after the fever. The fever isn't the problem. The fever is what's trying to help us. The way I like to explain it to patients is Christmas or Thanksgiving and Christmas is around the corner. Or Thanksgiving and Christmas are around the corner. You ever have a get-together, and there's always those friends or family members that overstay. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody wants to go to bed, and they just don't get the hint. Everybody's like, oh, I'm tired, I think I'm gonna get ready to go upstairs, and they just keep talking, they just keep doing whatever. So you decide, you know what, I gotta get these people out of here. I go over to the thermostat, crank that thing up to 95, and then all of a sudden they start getting really uncomfortable. Like, you know what, it's awful hot in here, I think we'll go home for the night. They leave, and then you dial your thermostat back down to 68 or whatever you keep it. That's how the body fights virus. It's the same way. And I hope you found something entertaining in that, because that's about the best way I can put it in an analogy to make it very easy for people to understand. And stop worrying too about antibodies. Antibodies are something that are remnants of the body after fighting the virus. They did this shit during COVID, or SARS coronavirus. oh, the antibody levels, no, you got to stop worrying about the antibody levels, because those will go away after a time. They are your guards that kind of stand by after your body is done fighting the virus. They kind of hang around for a little bit, like firefighters. After a fire is out, they hang around, put out the hot spots if needed, then we go back to the firehouse. And then that's where we stay till we're needed again. Same thing. Once the threat's over and there's no threat coming back, antibodies leave, they go hide somewhere, and then when they're needed, they come back again. If we keep stimulating antibody levels with vaccines and that, we're crushing our body's immune system and the ability to fight infection. What they should be focused on is your T cell response, your T cell immunity, because over time, it's your T cells that will help you fight infection, not your antibodies. And that's where everything has gotten completely backwards. That's a whole nother discussion for another vlog, because if I start talking about that, we'll go well into the hour-plus range, and I really don't want to do that. This is already probably going to be a long one as it is, but that's okay. There's a lot of good info in here, and hopefully people stick through and listen to this, because I really think this can help people. So basically, you have to give yourself time to heal, even though you've got shit to do, and you don't have time to be sick. Guess what? You don't have a choice in the matter. You have to take good care of yourself. So again, I hope you all found that a little bit entertaining. I hope you found that some educational, and I hope this helps you, because I promise you, those of you, especially those that are coming down from the north, it's not a matter of if, it's when somebody or some group of people in your party are going to get sick. It's going to happen. I see it every time, and it's mostly people that come from the north down here during this time of year and all the way through the winter months. It's just the body's not used to it. And so you just, again, don't panic. I hate to say it, if you absolutely feel 100% that you need the emergency room, by all means, we will take good care of you, but just know that most of the time you're going to get sent home with a bill and not a whole lot of information other than take Tylenol, ibuprofen, and hydrate. Some of the best things you can do if you don't feel good, go, especially if you're at the resorts, Disney resorts, because Amazon will deliver, get yourself some chicken noodle soup, some ginger ale or 7-Up, saltine crackers, vitamin C, vitamin D3, zinc, and called quercetin, Quercitin, and just take that stuff. And no, those aren't miracle fixes, but they will help your body. You can actually start taking that stuff a couple weeks before your vacation, which again will help your immune system. Will it prevent you from getting sick? No, but might it make you a little less susceptible to some of the stuff down here? Maybe. Again, it's prophylaxis, prophylactic treatment they call it. So please take good care of yourself and don't panic. That's the worst thing. People panic, they freak out. Like I said, the SARS coronavirus 2 thing really messed with people's minds. They honestly think that I shouldn't get sick anymore, and if I have gotten sick, it's because I didn't do something, and it's not the case. Do you understand that and this isn't us as a whole, this is each individual person, and again, you can research this. This is very much searchable. I don't condone Google searching medical information, because people have no idea what they're looking at, and Google automatically goes straight. Like, you could say, why do I have a runny nose? They'll tell you have cancer, which I say that to be funny, but it's the truth almost. Each one of us on this planet lives our lives every day, from the day we're born all the way into the day we leave this earth and go on to the next life. We live with approximately 380 trillion virus, both inside and on us, every single day. Think about that. 380 trillion virus all together at once. We don't live in this sterile environment. So many people think that we live like we have to be sterile. We are anything but sterile. In fact, if we try to sterilize ourselves and live in a sterile environment, people get really, really sick. Which is why I think infections at hospitals go through the roof, because everything's too freaking sterile. Now, do you need a dirty environment when you're doing surgery? Not really, but the body already has a ton of bacteria and virus. That's part of our biome, and when you're making things sterile, you're inviting a world of problems. It's food for thought, So we're gonna keep on walking. I hope that helps y'all. We're gonna keep on going. Like I said, I know this is gonna be a long vlog, but that's all right. There's a lot of good info in here. At least I think there is. Let me know in the feedback. Let me know if there's any questions you have. I'm happy to answer. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm a paramedic, almost 20 years of experience, most of it in emergency medicine. I also do, I'm not an anesthesiologist, but I do anesthesiology work as well. So I have a very, very robust knowledge of things, and I really, really can help people with this stuff. Again, not a doctor, but I'm damn close. I'm just sorry. I hope that doesn't piss any doctors off, but I mean, paramedics are very, very smart people. You cannot be you can be a moron and be a paramedic, but you're not going to last long. Because really, you have to make decisions. And we'll go over, this will be another vlog, you know, the explanation. What does a paramedic do? Because I don't really think people realize what exactly it is we do. You have to make all the decisions by yourself on what medications to give, how to fix somebody, and how to manage their pain, all without anybody telling you what to do. You have to make those decisions on your own. You're pretty much a field doctor. So when it comes down to things, I have a very, very broad knowledge because I like to read a lot. I like to research. I like to ask questions. I like to bend the ears of a lot of doctors, and that's where I've gotten my knowledge. Is a lot of it's from talking with doctors and not just agreeing with everything they've told me. I've taken what they've told me and then I've done my own research and I've formed my own thoughts and opinions, which I want you all to do as well. Take what I've said, you know, form your own thoughts, your own opinions. Don't just because somebody says something, that's not gospel. You know, it's take into consideration what is said, what I've said, and then do your own research and figure out if it's best for you. I don't want to be egotistical and say I know it's really good, but I think everybody should research things before they do it and then make their own judgment. But get good advice, and the problem is there's just not that much good advice out there. It's all based on, you know, people that have no knowledge of things. Same thing with the smartwatches. People got these smartwatches which have all these health meters on them, but realistically you're giving that to a person that has, most people have no medical knowledge, can barely manage themselves with a fever or cold, and now you're giving them a technological piece of equipment that measures your health. No wonder people freak out. So I hope you all are enjoying this. We're gonna keep walking. We're gonna check out some more decorations. Listen, I really missed this Stage 1 company store. This was a fantastic shop. It was it's like designed like an old movie prop set. Also, if you're a souvenir coin collector and you want some good old-fashioned Muppet 3D coins, they're right here at the exit to Pizza Planet. Or not Pizza Planet, Pizza Rizzo, the old Pizza Planet. Back when this was linked up with Pixar Place. Thought we'd take a quick break and try out some Millennium Falcon Smugglers Running. 45 minutes, single rider, yes please. It's the best damn secret in the park.
You harpoon that precious cargo. And as we always say here,
Here we go. Alright, there's my seat right here.
Flight engineer, prepare this. Hit your flashing buttons. Only one engineer.
Oh yeah.
I'll do what I can to help out. Right, pilot, push the flashing button to take off. Pilot on the left. Move your stick to fly right and left.
Alright, oh god.
Pilot on the right. Pull back on the stick.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Push forward to fly down.
Let me get in front of it!
Power up the ship. Well, I grab go axiom. Get out of here. A distraction. Fire the missiles at the train. Hurry. You retrieve 2 containers of coaxium. This will greatly help the resistance. You have heard the First Order and made Chewie proud. Now, after my modest profit, your cut, minus what you owe me for damaging the Falcon, is, hey, not bad.
You made $6,000.
6,000?
We have a brilliant freighter that needs immediate transport back to the maintenance.
That was awesome. The family I was flying with, you all did outstanding. That was great. Yeah, almost got, I wonder if you can get 3. Has anybody gotten 3 containers? I've been very close. I'm just curious if it's doable. That was freaking awesome. I'm telling y'all, Millennium Falcon, Smugglers Run, single rider line. That's the way to do it. walk past my dorm every Saturday morning that there was a home game at Purdue. Such good memories. Holy crap, I have some fellow Vikings fans here. Skull Vikes. That was really cool. It just happened to fall right in line behind the marching band, the Toy Soldier drum line. I was going to get some coffee, but that's a big nope. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I cannot stand kids with smartphones. That is, it's an abomination. It's ruining youth. It's ruining their imaginations, their ability to form thoughts, their ability to form emotions. And why I say that is, we're walking through the park here, and you got Christmas music playing, you got decorations everywhere, and you're in freaking Disney World, and this kid's got his head down in a cell phone while the parents are pushing him. I don't understand it. And I know they'll make some excuse why they can't, why he has to have it. But what they don't realize is while they think that they're helping that child, they are destroying his future, completely destroying it. Because the statistics are starting to come out about how damaging cell phones are for kids. That's all I got. Yeah, that's a big nope. It went up to 30 minutes. I should have done it while I walked back here the first time. Dumbass. Every now and then you can find some of these really vintage collectible pennies. One of these days I want to see if I can find one that's got MGM on it. I don't know if you can find it. Some tells me there's one hidden around here somewhere. This is a smaller version of the fountain that they have at Disney's California Adventure. Oh, sweet, we got one that's not wrapped either. What's up, everybody? This is how you ride this thing right here. And if you need a Joffrey's where there's no wait, it's right down here at the bottom of this ramp. This is Caribbean Beach. This place is gigantic. I think it's the largest resort on property. Back to studios.
Por favor, permanezcan sentados.
All in Mary's bride, hang stockings and say your prayers. Santa Claus comes
So I was out of the park for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. On top of Tower of Terror being down, on top of Toy Story Midway Mania being down, now Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway / Great Movie Ride is now down. Real good. Real good. Found some more pennies. They got my buddy. They got old school Phineas and Ferb. I never got a chance to try the Phineas and Ferb at Epcot, which I think that got replaced by the now DuckTales adventure, which I have to try that sometime. Walking right past here, it's hard to believe when I was covering all of this, the hidden magic of Hollywood Studios. That was, I think, May. It was either May or June because it was hot that day. It's hard to believe we're already into November. The summer flew by. Well, that was a successful day at Studios, and Santa Mickey has started some early Christmas shopping. My little niece called me last night with a list for Santa Mickey. I love that. I really do. It's so much fun. One thing, you live here long enough, you can start reading the weather like a book. It's fixing to unload. It's gonna pour here in about 5 minutes.
Minnesota Vikings football and Dobbs delirium is in the air on the KFAN Minnesota Minnesota Vikings radio network, and Josh Dobbs making his first start for the Minnesota Vikings heads out to the field, heading to the west side of US Bank Stadium. 2nd and 7, couple of receivers offset eye right, play action from under center. Dobbs, good pocket, he's looking right, throwing right, and nearly intercepted, but it bounds into the hands of Jordan Addison.